Hey guys, Castro here, bringing you a preview video of my new mapper for Serato DJ. Now, as you guys know, Serato DJ 1.7 beta came out not even 2-3 hours ago, and it's pretty much fully mapped with the exception of one thing. Now, I've been working on this mapping since 1.61, which is I think is the current release build right now, but it's pretty much easy. Honestly, thought it was going to be harder. You know, obviously with the exception of MIDI out, which hasn't hit yet. It's pretty much the same thing, but there are a few minor changes I think you guys are going to like. So let's get into the video, guys. Right, so an interesting little fact is Serato have actually made it a little bit easier with MIDI mapping. As you know, it's pretty simple, pretty basic before, but they've actually added new little commands, new little I don't know really what to call them, just things that make it convenient, that make it like, why didn't they implement this before? So we're gonna go ahead and get into what doesn't work, and what doesn't work is the scroll knob on the Pioneer DJM-T1. Whenever you click in, it actually still does focus between your crates and your tracks. However, the scroll knob itself doesn't work. I don't know if this is because it's the original, because it's the very first Serato 1.7 beta, and it could be, but I've tried all control modes and so far nothing. So now we're going to go into the changes in the transport section. So what I first noticed when I started mapping in Serato DJ 1.6 was that my internal mode was now turned into a toggle. As you guys know, in Serato Scratch Live 2.5, this was the internal mode. You shift and you have relative, you shift and you have absolute. But this was always just internal mode. Well, now guys, it actually toggles. So as you can see, I'm in relative mode right now from that drop down menu. Click internal, normal behavior. However, if I click internal again, it switches between your last used control method. That's actually pretty handy because now I have two of these buttons whenever you shift free on each side. However, I don't think I'm going to change anything. I'm going to keep it the same as it was. This still turns into relative mode. Whenever it's shift click, this still turns into absolute, and that goes for both sides. The big thing that I did change in this section, however, are these two little guys. Since Serato Scratch Live never had sync, there was no reason for these to even be here, so I mapped them out to the effects module and the SP6 module. I decided to keep it the same way, the only difference here is whenever I shift click one of these, it actually clicks sync in Serato DJ. Now, however, there is a bit of inconvenience here where you shift click sync. It's not really a toggle. It's in the software, it's either sync or it's off. So whenever you click sync, you can't click it again to turn it off. You actually have to go in the software and click off with your mouse, which is, a minor inconvenience, but hey. Moving on to the snap button. It actually has a use now. In Scratch Live, it would be a quick way to go to settings. However, you can't do that in Serato DJ, or at least I don't think you can. So I decided to put it to good use. Whenever you click snap, it turns the quantize mode in Serato DJ on. Now when you shift click snap, it turns it into autoplay. And I know for maybe some DJs that work with other guys that aren't really, I guess, really good with their audio or whatever, and you need to go in and manually fix some audio for those guys, you can go ahead and leave it on autoplay by shift clicking snap. You're good to go. So moving on, we're going to go ahead and check out the new effects section. Now, there's really not much to talk about in the effects section other than that Serato have made it way easier than it was in Scratch Live to map all this. Now, for anybody else that was mapping in Scratch Live, you guys know that you would have to have one toggle for single mode and then 3 separate toggles for the 3 effects mode. Now, what they've actually done is made it one entire button, so the same button on each side. It's pretty much better if I show you than talk about it, because you guys are probably like, what the heck are you talking about? So we have the effects panel open, and I'm currently in single mode. Now obviously the big on button in the DJM-T1 turns the single effect on. It doesn't do that anymore. It actually switches between single and triple mode. There's a reason for that, and the reason is that these three are now the same button in 3 effects mode and single effects mode. So that's been mapped to 1, 2, and 3. So if I click 1, on, single effects, on. Same button throughout, same goes for those knobs, knob 1, knob 2, knob 3. So what does that mean? It leaves me with an extra knob on each side. So what I decided to do with that knob is turn it into the beat the beat counter. So you can toggle between the beats for an echo or whatever. So on actually toggles from single mode to 3 effects mode, and shift on goes from triple effects mode to single effects mode. As you guys know, these two were actually not mapped. Okay, no. This one is actually mapped, but this one had no purpose basically. Well, now they have a built-in filter in Serato DJ, so this has been mapped to the filter, and this still retains the same internal mode pitch slider. And that's pretty much as far as it goes for the effects section. Easier mapping, way easier. It's gonna have to take maybe a couple runs to get used to it. I mean, I know it did for me. But now we're gonna go to the last change, and that's gonna be in the hotkey section. Probably the biggest change in the hotkey section would be that now the delete function is natively mappable in Serato DJ, as opposed to in Scratch Live. You have to open up the MIDI file, hack it in there. You have to do the red hammer hack, and for MIDI out, that would turn these off whenever you deleted a cue. Yeah, all that is out the window. It is now just click the X button whenever you're MIDI mapping, and you're good. So guys, that is it for this video. Please let me know what you think of the mapper, what you think of the changes. If you need any more changes, if you think some changes are whack, put them how it was. So let me know. I'm not gonna be the kind of guy that says hell no. I'll gladly listen to constructive criticism. Shout out to Serato for finally hearing out your users and putting in the MIDI panel in Serato DJ. Now, just gotta wait till 2.0 for MIDI out, right? Just joking with you guys. Shout out to Serato forum user Trey E for actually showing in the forum that 1.7 beta was out. Without you, man, I probably would have not even bothered to check the Serato website. Till next time, guys, this is Castro, signing off.